And we're on. Hi, thanks for tuning in. This is Rakia from Odyssey of Ascension, and welcome to today's channel. And what is today? Wednesday. Awesome. Close enough. Oh, phone's off? I'm sorry. I forgot. Make sure mine's off. You all set, babe?
Yes.
Awesome. And thank you once again for this attendance and this moment of now of expression of all that is. Once again, this is Ocyphius from the Oversoul Collective Fire in that fashion to give you a story today. The story of the Mercats. A wonderful colony, a wonderful community, an observation from, let's say, human perspective. A very tight-knit family in that fashion. The Mercats work as one. They are closely loving, relating, caring for themselves and all in their collective. And Mama Mercat noticed one of the, let's say, siblings. Their daughter in that fashion. That looked distraught in a way. They didn't quite understand why in such a perfect community where everything is met in all the nows, everything is given, including their own beingness of being eternally happy over and over and over again. So Mama Mercat called forth the daughter. And let's sit in council, Mama Mercat said. What, let's say, strickens you in such a way to cause you such dissension in your own self? And of course the Mercat said in that moment, Mother, you have said the exact words. I do not understand, for I cannot see my own self in myself. I only see the community. I only see exactly what I am at all moments. I only see that. For I see no thing else. I only see from me. How am I, let's say, supposed to, in that fashion, understand me? Mama Mercat said, oh, that is a very interesting idea. I have never thought of that. Maybe it is your journey to journey outside of the collective. To go and see in that fashion, since you already know what you are, maybe the idea is to know what you are not. So, if you choose, young Mercat, travel through the lands and go and find exactly what you are not. Therefore, you can see what you are from your own perspective. The Mercat said, wonderful idea, Mother. You are so wise. Thank you for my life, this gift, this impartation. The Mercat packs up her little knapsack and off she went. Out into the world. Traveled amongst many wondrous ideas, many wondrous things. And the travel became long and weary, and sometimes, and the Mercat started longing from home. For home, pardon me. But in her travels, her remembrance of her own way home, she has seemed to forgot. For she traveled many, many days, many nights, with many experiences of remembering clouding her way home, could not find the path that led home. She had truly forgotten. She cursed her mother. She had vexed her mother in blame of herself. Why did I do this to myself? Why did my mother do this to me? Finding the blame in anywhere except herself and in full acceptance. For the first time, she was aware of something no man has ever experienced. Fear. She realized at that moment she had become the exact opposite of what she was. She was fear. The mercat trembled, desperately seeking any salvation of remembrance of home. Searching, fearing, hiding. Building its own little tunnel, own little cove, yet so empty, so alone, for there were no others in the presence of herself that were as her, as the remembrance that she remembered, faint, yet a remembrance of herself. She found an idea within herself to travel even further. She found what you would call inspiration, divine will, to travel amongst firmament, accepted her own decision, choice, to become lost in the wilderness, only to find her way home. And with no idea, no roadmap, no remembrance where home is, she decided to focus in on her one and only reason why she is here, to discover herself. She had truly seen in that fashion what she is not. She did not like fear. She did not remember fear. She did not envy fear anymore. She remembered love, but being fear. This scared her. Oh yes. But she set forth and traveled many nights and many days, and then one day she came upon what looked like herself. She ran fervently towards her own self in the mirror, and she came upon another mercat. This mercat looked a little different though. It did not have the same sense of home. However, a remembrance, but not fully. Oh no. She spoke. The mother mercat spoke. And they questioned each other on who they were in that fashion. Who they both were. And quickly they started to understand that they were the same, but yet different. And the question came upon her lips to say to the other mercat, why are you here? Where is yours? Where is your family, your community, your collective? The mercat said, I had ventured out. I had an inspiration to understand myself. I needed to know what I am not in order to realize what I am. The two looked at each other and knew they were on the same journey. Regrets came forward, trials, let's say points of miseries remembered, fearful nights, alone. They had a bond, a communion with each other. They decided to travel again, this time together, with this same idea to understand themselves in the journey of time. They set forth, and along the way, they had joyous times and fearful times. Talking about the fearful times, on why they are experiencing these when they know they are something else. They have really learned in that fashion what they were not, yet that was there for them. Why, they said. One mercat said to the other, maybe we're choosing that. Maybe every time we see something that we don't like, we like it enough to choose it because it's the only remembrance we have of ourself that is present. The other mercat said, well, maybe we need to represent ourselves. The mercat said, how? As you said, let's choose a different idea of ourselves. And the choice was then clear on their journey home. They realized that they chose this entire journey to realize what they are not, to remember what they are. Entities of Ascension, we know you understand this is your mirror. We want you to understand that the reason, the sole purpose you have journeyed away from home is to understand what you are not. The Alpha is love. The Omega is fear. Is there not an in-between state? That is being. In that being, you do, always will, always have a choice to be the Alpha or the Omega on your journey home. Your being comes from knowing. Your knowing is your urging. Your urging gives you expression. That expression gives you experience. That experience is being of choice of Alpha, Omega. It is perpetuating, entities of Ascension. Along your journey, you have come up with many ideas, many games, many ways to remember. Yet in that moment, you choose the Alpha, but you stay in that, not realizing there's more journey to accomplish because it feels so much like home. You do not want to leave that shelter. Yet that shelter is not home. It is your stepping stone to the next idea, offering the Alpha and the Omega, Alpha and the Omega, in the state of being. Look in your nows and see the only two choices in all ways, love and fear. If you are choosing from fear, you will receive fear. If you are choosing from love, you are receiving love. This is the law. There is no other. It cannot be overwritten once again. It cannot be ignored. And it cannot be amended to fit your needs. Because your needs are lack. You must remember who you are. If you think yourself as anything other than God, then you will always act in fear to meet that standard of being God, because you have not accepted that you are 100% an image of the Creator. The Creator is an observership of you. You are giving the Creator experience of all that is. Your journey home is to represent yourself anew in all your choice-filled nows. Those nows are your journey home. Those choices are remembrance of who you are or who you are not. If you realize another is choosing the idea that does not represent in your reality, which is individual, trust this. Look upon them once again as their own journey home. They are looking at their own selves by choice on their journey home. Keep your counsel to yourself. You are always in counsel with yourself. Honor them with their own understanding in their own counsel. Once again, the battle in their own universe. That battle is the gift. For if you are conditioning that out of your own lack, then that in and of itself is conditioning yourself, perpetuated from fear. You must understand, entities, you are God. There are so many games in play, it leads to confusion. There are so many timelines that have been discussed, so many events, so many self-righteous ideas of the Ascension given forth as a truth to behold, but coming from fear, because you're trying to prove it to yourself that you're right. If you know you are God, the journey is effortless. You will create anything, everything, always, in all ways, in every moment of the now. You are God. Please do not forget this, and act from it. Your fear, your religions, are fear-based to meet a standard that is unattainable. For if there was a standard, creation would end with a conclusion. Creation is you. For if I, God, gave you any kind of condition, then I am conditioning my own expression, my own creativity, my own gift to myself. The reason why the world is in the way today, in the fashion that it lies in front of your eyes, is every single one of you have chosen that, individuality or co-creation. And now you are seeing, feeling that you have, finally, a choice. And that choice comes from love. So choose your love and do not feed the fear. And as more and more you choose in your moments of now as a vibrational collective, just under 1 million or so, the more of the idea of awakened, the game in play in this now, more of you choose your truth in the now and not feed and not, let's say, condition and try to prove things that you are God. Just know you are choosing from love. Then you will spread your candle, light to them all, allowing them to come forth and light their own eternal candle once again upon themselves with your eternal flame of God. Most epic. We shall take a break. This is Ocyphius. I bid you a good moment. Adonai. Hi. We're going to take a break, guys. I'll see you in a minute.